Welcome back to my channel. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm Suzanne and today I'm checking in on my small breeder bin for my red wigglers, or tiger worms as they're also called. And I haven't been in here for a while because I just wanted to leave them to it. And so the last time I was in here they were happily producing cocoons, and so I don't know if this camera is going to pick this up, but here I have a tiny baby worm. Here we go, right from the outset. I have a tiny baby worm from one of our cocoons. So there we go. So what I'm going to do very shortly is I'm actually going to move. You can see there, maybe. I don't know if they'll pick it up. This camera is not great. I'm going to be upgrading. But you can see already on this baby worm, very distinctively, the yellow tail that these worms have. I'm trying to get you in close, but the trouble is, this camera doesn't focus the way that it should do because it's an action camera. But anyway, enough of that. My plan, the reason that I've left these is because I wanted to leave these adult worms breeding in here for as long as possible, and then I have a plan to move them because I wanted to take some of this bedding out of here and transfer them. I want to give them a bigger space, because here's one of these adults, and as you can see, this section here, this raised light section, it's called the clitellum, and that's how you know this is an adult red wiggler, aside from the very distinctive yellow tail that you get on these worms. So I want to give these breeding worms a bigger area and leave the cocoons and the small worms in here as a grow out bin. So all I'm doing today is I'm just checking on them for the time being and then giving them a feed. So I'm sorry I'm moving you about a lot, but it's such a tiny little bucket that I can't actually see what I'm doing, which is why, you know, it was great as a little starter bin, but yeah, I just can't see enough to do anything else. So basically that's it. I just wanted to show you that, you know, there's loads of little babies in here now, which is fabulous. So that will up the production of my actual tiger worm community. And they still got cocoons in here. Let's take this little sprout out. So I'm actually going to give these worms some more bedding, and then I'm going to give them a good feed, because the one thing that you want about your breeders is that you need them to stay healthy. So I'm going to give them a good dose of bedding, and then that liquid that I had, if you saw my previous video of my tower, you'll have seen I had this liquid and feed. Now these worms can have it because they're getting dry bedding which will absorb all of this liquid, and that is perfectly fine for them. So they're getting that, and they can have a little bit of the other food, not too much because, you know, there's not a huge amount of them in there. And so we mix that in along with some of their other stuff. So that's good for them. And then have to swap hands and give them some of the worm chow that I've got left. So now they can have some worm chow, and you don't want to do too much for these worms because, you know, there aren't millions in here. So again, mix that through because you don't want anything in a big pile, but remembering to give them an area to move away from it. Oh, there's a, I don't know if you'll see that. That little ball just there is a cocoon. And then again, a good dose of eggshell. You see all that dust coming up, so I will keep saying, when you grind up this and you transfer it from your grinder, do it outside because you don't want that in your lungs. It's not cool. So there we go, tuck them back in bed, and then again I have this bubble wrap. Now that I know that there are little worms, I'm going to have to be more careful because they like getting in amongst this bubble wrap and hiding in it. And so that's them, tucked up in bed. So there we go. Again, thank you for joining me. I hope you find this interesting, and if you do, I hope you'll like, share and subscribe because it all helps the production of my site. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.